Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dayspring Discussions. This is a show where we talk about movies, comic books, TV, sci-fi, fantasy. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I am your host, Sean McGahee, and with me back today is Mr. Joshua Del Angel. Josh, good to have you back, bud.
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since you came on the show. Lisa's been filling in for you, and not too bad of a job, but I think you seem a little more interested than she is in this whole ordeal I have going on.
Yeah, man, I'm really glad to be back, dude. I get to vent a little bit on this show, so thank you.
Exactly. Hey, and I think we're going to have some Batman topics, so I think you're going to be good on that. So going right into, before we actually get into the topics, just so you know how it goes, guys, we go through some of the news stories that happened last week. We discuss them and talk about them. And then one thing I want to talk about, though, before we get into those topics, is kind of a little... something I've been thinking about the last few days, I guess you could say. Halloween's coming up. You got your Halloween costume, Josh?
Yes, pieced it together. It's coming along. I think I'll be ready by Saturday.
Okay, cool. Well, for me, I was in the Halloween store the other day, and I'm trying to think about what I want to be. I don't have a lot of money this year, what I want to do, and stuff like that. And I saw a costume for Robin. It was a T-shirt and a cape or whatever. And I'm like, I have the rest of the stuff that could complete this. And I thought, and then I found a good deal on it online. So I'm like, okay, I'll be Robin, the Boy Wonder this year. Now, the main reason I thought about it, because I have a friend whose also name is Joshua Griffey. He has his own podcast called The Long Box Session, where him and his friend Alex talk about comic books and stuff like that. They live out in the Los Angeles area. But Griffey is very cynical kind of guy. He hated Guardians of the Galaxy. He hated Avengers Age of Ultron. Basically anything that is liked by the general public, he pretty much rags on. So he's kind of that kind of guy. So he has a deep hatred for Robin the Boy Wonder. He finds him a useless and stupid character. I'm a guy who grew up on comic books, so I loved Robin growing up, Robin started out when he was first introduced as propaganda to get more kids to read Batman comics. And guess what? It worked, that you could, you couldn't be Batman, but you could picture yourself as Robin, on the adventures with Batman. And it worked so well that they made all the other sidekicks. They made Kid Flash, they made Wonder Girl, they made, Speedy, they made Aqualad, Superboy, all that stuff. It worked, right? And there have been several Robins, and they've all had really good mythologies throughout the years. So here, his case for against Robin is that Bruce Wayne has taken this 10 to 12-year-old kid who has just lost his parents, given him a bright yellow cape, a bright red shirt, a green pants, and taken him into the night to fight crime while Batman's dressed all in black. Basically making him a target or a decoy. Not only, putting this kid's life in danger with drug lords and kingpins and, the worst of the worst, but also doing this after, he just lost his parents and all that stuff. So it's fiscally irresponsible. He's also of the notion that, the Dark Knight should work alone. He shouldn't have a partner. I'm of the opposite end because of the fact that Bruce Wayne is who he is. Because Bruce Wayne, when his parents were murdered in front of him, he made it his life's goal to rid Gotham of all evil, to, take on the worst of the worst, take them out by any means necessary to clean out the streets. That kind of mission in life takes its toll on you.
Yeah.
Okay? So I feel like Batman has to have those stakes. That's something that brings him back when he goes down the dark path. Very early on, there's the Batman story, Batman Venom, where he believes he's not fast enough or strong enough, so he starts taking venom or steroids to make himself stronger and faster, and he starts to get, really bad rage issues, starts to lose control, etc. So people like Alfred and maybe even Commissioner Gordon are there to kind of reel him back, to keep him, from going too far. And I think Robin's that way too, because Robin makes him responsible for someone, not only in life, but on those streets as well, to make sure that he, doesn't go too far. He's that voice of reason for him. And also, the other side of it is what I was thinking was, it's funny when Jason Todd showed back up as the Red Hood. I remember Bruce Wayne, there was a quote that he said, Why did he take, Jason Todd on as Robin? Now Jason Todd got his start by trying to steal the wheels off the Batmobile, and that's how Batman caught him. And Batman said, a while back, he said, I knew if I didn't make Jason an ally, he'd eventually become my enemy. And I think that's kind of it too, as far as with the Robin. He sees these young kids with tragedy in them, and he realizes that unless he tries to set them on a better path, they're going to go down the wrong path. His son, Damian Wayne, trained by the League of Assassins, obviously not good there. Jason Todd, a criminal. Dick Grayson, parents killed in front of him. He'd be, hopping around foster homes, might have gone the wrong way, stuff like that. So in that respect, only as, to help save these kids, but also to help save himself, I think those are good merits of Robin. I totally get Griffey's point of, why it's a bad idea. What do you think, Josh?
I agree, man, for the most part with you. I think that it's necessary. Batman is taking on this burden that is heavy as can be, man. I mean, he's saving a whole city, and one man can only do so much. I've always been all for Robin. He's always been a character that I could, I guess, would be a little bit easier for me to relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not have all the billions and billions of dollars.
Exactly. Growing up as a kid reading comic books, I could relate to Robin. Exactly. So,
and I overall, I think that that character has always been necessary. Yes, a little ridiculous at some times. It's hilarious to hear these stories of how this kid, he's a 12-year-old boy hanging out with a grown-ass man
you get
in
all
the middle
those
of the
stories.
night in a bright yellow suit. All that, I think that part of it, the character is definitely not the part of the character I like. But the fact that he is a young boy, it gives Batman a chance to be a little bit of a father, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. It gives him that responsibility where he's just not a man out for vengeance on his own crusade or something.
He's taking these bad kids underneath his wing, and
trying to straighten them out.
And straighten them out, which another mission for Batman to save the world there for you.
Yes.
So
well. Okay. Hey guys, write in and let us know what you think on the topic as well. Maybe if Griffey listens to this, he'll chime in as well too. Dayspring Discussions at gmail.com. Now that I've got that off my chest, let's get into the actual topics. And starting off, we're talking about The Walking Dead. I don't know anything about The Walking Dead, so I'm just going to tell you what happened, and then Josh is going to give his 2 or 10 cents or however much cents he wants to chime in on. Just as a spoiler, guys, this does say what happened in the latest episode, so if you don't want to hear it, turn it off right now. The Walking Dead saw almost an 8% increase in its ratings following Sunday's episode titled Thank You, where fan-favorite character Glenn appeared to die. According to The Wrap, The Walking Dead tapped 13.1 million total viewers when it aired. All of these factors contribute to a 7% increase from last Sunday's episode. Glenn was knocked off a dumpster after Nicholas committed suicide, falling into a swarm of walkers. The episode cut away just as Glenn began screaming and a burst of guts flew up into his face. Graphic. As his actual death was not shown, fans speculate he may not be as finished as it seems, and showrunner Scott M. Gimble fueled that fire by saying, "In some way we will see Glenn, or some version of Glenn, or parts of Glenn, again, either in flashbacks or the current story to help complete the story. Either way, Gimble says fans will learn Glenn's true fate before the first half of the season is up." I have no idea who Glenn is. I have no idea who Nicholas is. The only thing I'm going to chime in is this Gimble guy. He's like, in some ways he may come back. It may be a flashback. It may be parts of him.
He's evil,
he's just
man.
playing with it.
He's toying with us.
These guys know that we love this stuff and we hang off every little word, so he's just toying with it. But Josh, go for it, man.
First off, I gotta say that was very well played. Glenn is where I start, man. Glenn's a fan favorite, man. I threw a little watch party on Sunday, and I've never seen so many hearts broken in one room, man. I mean, it was.
You did see the Game of Thrones season finale, right?
Touche. But dude, this is Glenn, man. This is like if there was a favorite couple in a TV series, Glenn and Maggie would be it, and that's exactly what happened. I had a room full of ladies watching Walking Dead, and every single one of them was bawling. Every single one of them had the same heartbroken expression on their face. It's I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead, man.
Really?
I think they did a very good job of throwing in a curveball to the fans. That makes me, as a fan, I'm excited where the show's going. This season has been kick ass, man.
I think you're on something because it's a rule in sci-fi or fantasy. If you don't see the character die, he's not officially dead. Exactly.
He ain't dead.
That's usually how it goes. And even if he is, they can always come back because Lord knows many characters, especially comic book characters, have come back.
Yeah, and I'm really I didn't know the exact numbers of the increase in the viewing. That's great, man. For the show, I think that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to Sunday. I gotta say, if he is officially dead, it's gonna be very, very hard to continue the show without that.
I think they're trying to, compete with Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is notorious for killing characters. So maybe they're trying to step up their game.
Jeez, man. Yeah, if that's the case, then it's an all-out war on TV characters. Then, man,
exactly.
No one is safe.
That's what I love about it because what's what I love about Game of Thrones, like. Okay, say for instance, let's go to Avengers Age of Ultron or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay? You have all these characters fighting all these battles, with these, great stakes at hand. And these characters, some of them die, but then they come back. I feel like, there are no stakes anymore because either the characters don't die or they just die and immediately come back. You have to, when you're fighting a war, people die. Heroes die. There are stakes to this, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about Game of Thrones is that, your favorite characters, they die because they're so noble and brave. They go into battle. But guess what? Stuff happens.
Yeah. And, and going back to, I'm sorry, what is his name? The character, the director, producer.
Scott M. Gimble.
Going back to Gimble's comments, this whole series is set in reality, man. Set in a real time. There's no there's no ghosts coming back from the dead. It's besides zombies, of course. Uh-huh. Glenn, I think Glenn's gonna be just fine, man. I think something may happen where Glenn's gonna be just fine. I think.
Cool.
So.
All right, we'll go there. All right, man. So next up, we got two sci-fi sequels that started production recently. War of the Planet of the Apes and Underworld 5. Now, War of the Planet of the Apes is, of course, the sequel to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from last year, and that, of course, was the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011. It's being directed by Matt Reeves, and Andy Serkis is coming back to play the ape leader Caesar. Woody Harrelson is on to portray the human villain, and Steve Zahn will portray a new war ape, I guess. Then the next one, Underworld 5, being directed by Anne Forrester. She is a known cinematographer who worked on films such as Independence Day, The Day After Tomorrow, and White House Down. And Kate Beckinsale is coming back to reprise her role as Selene, the vampire death dealer. And Theo James will return as Selene's ally David from the last one, Underworld Awakening. Of these two films, which one are you more excited for?
Definitely Planet of the Apes, man. I've been hooked to that series since day one, man. If there's a way for them to bring Charlton Heston into this one, it would be even more epic.
This is set, hundreds of years before the actual first Planet of the Apes movie. So this is all set up, for that. I don't think they're eventually going to get there because they have so much to go. Now, this one is said, the last one from Rise of the Planet of the Apes to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was 15 years later.
Yes.
But from this one to the last one is only going to take place a short time.
Yeah,
because this is the war. The last movie set up and started the war between the apes and the humans, and this is going to be the actual war now. So I think it's going to be a few months, maybe a few years at most. But I'm excited for it, man. I think they have really, I'm not a big Planet of the Apes guy, but I was very impressed with Rise of the Planet of the Apes and the way what they were able to do with Caesar as far as the motion capture and Andy Serkis. It was phenomenal. I mean, it really made me feel for this character, and I loved it. And then they continued that story in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
And they captured it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with that. And I've never had we had Gollum, but animated character, man. Andy Serkis can bring these characters alive, man.
It's great, man. He's definitely, I'm definitely psyched for that one. Underworld 5, I'm a little less psyched for. Now, you said you've only seen the first one, right?
Yes.
Did you like it at all? Or?
No, I loved it. I mean, sexy. It was full of action. It almost had this Blade vibe to it.
And look, I'm not against seeing Kate Beckinsale in tight leather at all at any point
Definitely not
ever.
going to vote against that.
The thing was, me and Lisa are big fans of the Underworld franchise. You had Underworld, then you had the sequel, Underworld Evolution. The third film, Rise of the Lycans, was a prequel to everything. And then they came back and made Underworld Awakening. Underworld Awakening was a piece of crap, which really sucks. Now, they're going to make a sequel off of that, which they haven't titled Underworld 5 yet. It's just Underworld 5. So if they're going off of that, if you're making a sequel to a piece of crap, you're just going to make more pieces of crap, I think, which is a mistake. One of the things I hated was the character of Scott Speedman's character, Michael Corbin. Underworld Evolution ended with Celine and Michael walking off, into the sunset, literally. And in this one, Underworld Awakening, the sequel to that, they tried to put Michael Corbin in the movie without actually having Michael Corbin in the movie. Now, at the time, Michael Speedman was starting a new TV show on, I think, ABC or something. And I think that was just the stupidest mistake ever.
Yeah.
Scott Speedman, a couple years ago, I would have named him as my top pick to play Barry Allen in a Flash movie.
Really?
Yes, I think he does. But he's known for two things. He's known for Felicity, the TV show, and he's known for Underworld, okay? Felicity ain't coming back. Why he, left Underworld is beyond me because they had a good thing going there. They need to bring him back. I think to set things right, to get those two characters back on track. I think they can put it back on track, but I'm not hopeful for this. Not as hopeful as I would be if Underworld Awakening either didn't happen or would have been better. Look, Scott Speedman, if you're listening, I know you're not, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it, okay? You got paid to play a badass vampire werewolf hybrid, and you got to make out with Kate Beckinsale and rub body parts with her. I saw Underworld Evolution. You were both naked. It's awesome. What is the problem, man? Get back in this franchise now before it's too late. Okay, I'm done.
Actors and they're drama queens sometimes, man.
He tried to reach for the stars. I'm sorry, man. You can't do that. You know what? You got to pay your homage. It's like, Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans. Chris Evans said, yeah, when my contract's up as Captain America, I want to play Captain America some more. Because he realizes that's what he's known for. That's his bread and butter, okay? You got to play that out as long as you can.
Yep.
Speedman tried to reach for the stars. He thought he was better than that. No. Just play with your strengths, man.
I agree. Yep.
All right. Moving on, going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, after a number of teaser spots and motion posters, Netflix has finally given eager fans the first full-length trailer for Jessica Jones. The series follows in Daredevil's footsteps in depicting the mean streets of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's New York City. The show is the second of 4 Netflix-planned solo series starring heroes before they team up for The Defenders. Christian Ritter stars as Jessica Jones, a superpowered burnout trying to make ends meet by working as a private eye. The show will also star Michael Coulter as Luke Cage, a character who is also getting his own Netflix series. Carrie-Anne Moss as the high-powered lawyer Jaren Hogarth, Rachel Taylor as Jess's friend Trish Walker, and the former Doctor Who David Tennant as the downright despicable Kilgrave. Josh, Jessica Jones, thoughts?
She's hot.
Right? I never thought of her as hot until that, yeah.
She's hot. I love the issues that she's bringing as a character,
the
man.
Depth, definitely.
Yeah. She's got a lot of issues, and there's from watching the trailer, there looks like there's going to be some history between her and Kilgrave.
Yeah, there is a history. You can definitely tell that. Like, he's a mind controller, so he's controlled her at some point, made her do bad things, and that put her on a downward spiral where she's, very distraught about what he made her do. And it's great. The complexity of the character is going to be great. Daredevil was fine, but I think they're diving a little bit more into that tortured hero, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, is it me or do I feel like this William Stryker type vibe from Kilgrave, from the villain? And I feel like
I think it's going to be different because he's going to be a man with powers.
And I feel like he's going to be a powerful character on top of everything. I feel like he's at some point not only controlled Jessica Jones and made her do horrible things that we've yet to find out about, but he has a stable of of other characters that are also. I'm on this metahuman kick now.
Yeah, of course.
But the character itself, man, I'm really looking forward to the show. It's going to be a very. You use a great compelling.
Very compelling. I think it's really cool. We saw in the trailer too. We saw Michael Coulter as Luke Cage. Because Luke Cage is the next series coming out too. We see him quite a bit. I heard we're going to see Matt Murdock in the series at some point too.
Okay.
Which would be cool. That would be a good tie-in. To see Luke Cage, there was that one shot of her and Cage getting it on too.
Yeah.
There was that shot because of course they have a relationship in the comic books. They get married, have a kid, etc. So it's good to see them start off as that. My only thing is with these characters, I like the character of Luke Cage. My favorite character is still to come, the immortal Iron Fist. They haven't cast anything on that yet, but I'm truly looking forward to see how they do that. But I'm just a little afraid. You have all these characters. I don't feel like a lot of these characters, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are great, as well as Iron Fist, but do they really all need their own series? I guess you could easily put Luke Cage and Iron Fist together because they had a team-up comic for a while as well. I don't think they each need their own series, especially, they're great characters, but can they, carry it? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just being a little hesitant. I should definitely just shut up now because Marvel has done perfect.
Are you thinking, have they set up Luke Cage's independent show yet? Are they kind of waiting to see how that character develops?
It's the next one. They've already got it all set up to go. So basically, we're going to get Jessica Jones, and then next year we're getting Luke Cage and Daredevil Season 2. And then the year after that, I'm not sure what. I don't think they've announced 2017 yet.
I feel like Marvel has some oracles, and they already know that these shows are going to be successful with fans.
Well, they just have good writers and good people behind them.
And they just plan like 4 steps ahead. And so far, like you said, they haven't been wrong, man. They've been very on point.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Jessica Jones is not one of my favorite characters, but the trailer got me excited. I think it'll be a good story.
I like all the purple, man. All the purple, the advertising and everything. Yeah. It's cool.
At least they didn't go with pink, because that would have just been wrong.
That would have killed it.
All right. Moving over, switching, speaking of a Disney-owned property, there have been a lot of rumors about Disney's planned Indiana Jones, and franchise producer Frank Marshall is eager to clear it up for at least one of them. Marshall says, "We're not looking to recast the title role," he told Total Film. "We haven't even sat down to talk about Indy yet. At some point we'll sit down, but there's a bunch of people who could probably take the baton. We're not doing the Bond thing where they're going to call someone else Indiana Jones. We have to figure this out." Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy confirmed in May that there were no plans to do another Indiana Jones in the works, but when it'll happen, I'm not quite sure. We haven't started working on a script yet, but we are talking about it. I'm sure they're more focused on a little movie called Star Wars coming out here soon, but we'll get to that later. So this means that everyone is planning to see a 70-year-old Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones. I don't know about that. I love Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is the man. I will weep the day that man passes on to the next life. But Indiana Jones, he's an adventurer. He needs to be able to move around, passing the baton down, which is kind of what they tried to do in the last one.
With Shia LaBeouf.
And which failed because that movie sucked. And he could have been, Indy Jr., so to speak.
That's what I like about the idea is his son.
Yeah, exactly. They could have, kept it in the family. But now, I don't know how they're going to do it. They have to reinvigorate the franchise. Mm-hmm. They have to get a younger guy in there to take over. And they still have to call it Indiana Jones. I just don't... Money. Yeah, exactly. They have to call it Indiana Jones because it's a recognizable franchise. I'd like to see, my vision was having Harrison Ford in, flashbacks, kind of, or I guess him telling the story to someone about when he was younger, and then you get flashback to when he was younger, and you have that different actor in there, so you've established that actor, and then the next film, you can just go with that actor as a regular story.
Not a bad idea, man. That's a good point there. So you're saying like a prequel type thing going on?
Yeah, because
some old Indiana Jones stories.
Indiana Jones works best in the 1940s and 30s in the Nazi era, man. That's when he's at his prime.
Fits, you're right.
So let's keep him in that era too. I love that. It's a period piece too. So that's one of my favorite things. So I think we should keep it at that.
Yeah, I'd have to go with that one, man. I agree. That's probably one of the better ideas I've heard. I mean, it doesn't make sense to put him in the future here. And then I feel like you're just going to make more Alien Indiana Jones. It's going to be Indiana Jones versus Aliens, I feel like.
I don't know. We'll wait and see about that one. So, moving on. Empire Magazine has put out several covers in regards to the new Suicide Squad movie coming out next year. We have one as Jared Leto as the Joker. We have one as Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Will Smith as Deadshot, and Cara Delevingne, I totally butchered that, as the Enchantress. And inside there are several pictures with the about the movie. We see a Dr. Quinn with the Joker inside of Arkham, and some more story developments as well. There's actually an alleged love triangle between Harley, the Joker, and Deadshot. Harley is the biggest troublemaker, but Deadshot's actually eyeballing her a little bit, Will Smith told Empire. There's a pretty ragged romantic triangle there. Director David Yates expanded on that, offering insight into why the traditional villainous pairing will see some cracks in its maniacal veneer. Ayer said, it's about Harley breaking free of the Joker and becoming this fully actualized independent person. And then also they talked to Jared Leto, of course, about taking over the role of Joker. He said, it took a pretty deep dive into the character, but this was a unique opportunity. I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. It was fun playing those psychological games, but at the same time, it was very painful, like giving birth out of my prick hole. Okay. I was always getting the sense that the Joker may be much older than people think. It's something different. If you don't break the rules, you're not going to strike new ground. I think it'll be cool. It'll be cooling down for the rest of my life from this role. So with this, the covers look pretty cool. I'm not totally sold on this film just because it's the DC Cinematic Universe, and so far all we've seen is Man of Steel, which I'm not a fan of.
Crap.
But the main thing I'm curious about is this movie doesn't come out till August of next year. Why are they putting out magazine covers now? They should be doing this 6 months from now. Are they trying just to gain momentum and get psyched for the film? Because I feel like really it's what it is. Because Suicide is such an unknown property to the general public. Maybe they're just trying to get people psyched, but they need to do it closer to the movie, I feel. What do you think?
Well, you're talking about a film that hasn't been done before. Have we seen a villain basically in Avengers, anti-Avengers?
Well, technically that's what Guardians of the Galaxy was, because they were all thieves and bad guys, but they were lovable bad guys. And I think that's where we're going to, because even in the trailer we saw from Comic-Con, we saw Will Smith hugging a kid, which is his daughter, because Deadshot does have a daughter. So I'm thinking he's going to... 100%, I think, Will Smith is going to be the main character in this movie. And, of course, seeing him with a daughter, of course, we know he has something good in him. So it's like, yeah, these are the bad guys. But, oh, wait, they still have a heart,
Yeah. And a Deadshot, to me, I love the character. I think Will Smith is going to do a good job as a character. Will it be the character from the comics? I'm not sure yet. I have my doubts. But
what do you think of the love triangle?
Well, that's what I was gonna get into. It's just that Harley Quinn and Joker. That's a whole bag of cats that I don't think Deadshot's ready to bite off, man. I mean, I think he's biting off way more. It's
like hooking up with a girl when she's still crazy about her ex,
Yeah, and I've always seen those guys together, and I always will. Harley Quinn, Joker, they are two characters that's set in stone, in my opinion. I now that you mentioned Will Smith is going to be the lead. I think this triangle is going to be part of the cause for why the group breaks up. I mean, at some point, we're going to see Joker, I feel like, break out of this group.
Well, I don't think he's going to... I think, honestly, the way the storyline... I mean, we don't think we know anything really about the story yet, but what I think was going to happen is the Joker's going to be the main villain, I think, okay? Yes. So there was that... Back in the classic Batman animated series, there was an episode where Joker was going to set off a bomb and destroy all of Gotham. So Batman had to get Harley Quinn out of jail to get her insight and help in tracking down the Joker. I think it's kind of the same thing where Amanda Waller puts the ragtag group of Suicide Squad together and she adds Harley Quinn in there to track down the Joker, I think is where it's going to go.
Yeah, and I always feel like they're working together though, dude. Even when Harley Quinn says she doesn't know anything, I feel
blinded by love.
She will always go to the Joker side, and it's going to be interesting to see where that leads and how they play that out.
I'm very curious, of course, Leto as Joker, when we first saw a picture of it, not a lot of people were crazy about it. I'm one of those people where I was, when Heath Ledger was cast as a Joker, I was like, what is this? And it turned out phenomenal. So I don't want to be pessimistic about it. I don't know. I guess it's not the actors, it's not the movie. It's the treatment of Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder with the DC universe so far.
Yeah.
I mean, like Batman v Superman, the trailer looks awesome, but then I'm thinking it's still Zack Snyder, the guy who totally messed up Man of Steel and Superman. And so there's a piece of me that wants it to be good, but wants to do it right. And at the same time, I have this thing like, oh, they're going to screw it up.
And that makes, because of Batman vs. Superman, I think DC they don't want to give too much away with Batman vs. Superman, so they're going to give away Suicide Squad. They're going to advertise that like a maniac.
Yeah.
To help build towards Batman vs. Superman. That's the Super Bowl, man. Everybody's looking forward to that. But you have the Suicide Squad, which is a bunch of characters that, pretty well known. Bad guys. Yes, I think we're going to see a showdown between Batman and Joker at some point. Jared Leto's Joker.
Well, Batman's going to be in the movie, too.
Exactly.
And I think I heard something yesterday where Suicide Squad actually takes place before Batman v Superman. Like in chronological order.
Wow, okay.
I'm not sure about that. It's just a rumor I heard, I think.
Yeah. I don't have any doubts about the actors and their abilities. I think Jared Leto's going to do a great job as Joker.
He's a phenomenal actor.
I am scared shitless what DC's going to do with this franchise, though, man. And
well, also, too, because you got to think, also, Will Smith and Margot Robbie were just in that movie Focus last year that bombed. I mean, I watched it just to see how the two of them were do together, and they were horrible. So, trying to, put that up, I think they were hoping it to be more of a success to get people more psyched for Suicide Squad. I think it did the opposite for me, seeing their not so much chemistry. I mean, I've always been a Will Smith fan, and Margot Robbie was great in Wolf of Wall Street. But if these two are leading the pack together and trying to, bank off their chemistry, again, that's another strike against it.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with 100% with that, their chemistry. I think Jared Leto's going to steal the show, though.
Yeah,
man.
I think
he's
the
going
thing
to hold
that's good,
that
like I
franchise
said,
down.
Will Smith is still a good actor. Margot Robbie has proven she's a good actress. Jared Leto's great. And then, of course, you have David Ayer, which I loved Fury with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. So I have much hope for it, but again, it scares me a little bit because...
Cross your fingers, man.
Because of
cross your fingers.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. So now we're getting into our last segment, which is something I like to call Let's Talk Some Star Wars. Last week was a huge Star Wars week. Sunday we got the official poster. Monday we got pre-sale tickets went on sale, as well as the official trailer, the last trailer actually. And then on top of that, we got a couple of trailers or bites of the Star Wars Battlefront video game coming out next month too. Lots of stuff to chew on. I did my Star Wars trailer breakdown last week, so if you guys want to check that out, you can get more insight to me talking about for 30 minutes about the trailer and my experience with the pre-sold tickets and all that. Josh, you saw the trailer, and what do you think, man?
Man, I am so excited for this film, to say the least.
Yeah. I was thinking about it last night. I was like, I feel like now people are more excited for this for two reasons. One, this is the sequel or the next trilogy that we all really wanted after Jedi. Because you have Han, you have Leia, you have Luke, you have Chewie, you have all these characters coming back.
Yes. This
is what we wanted to see from the get-go. Instead, we got the prequels. And in that respect, it's like people are cheering or more excited for this because now Star Wars has become an underdog. They were at the top of the mountain, and guess what? The prequels came out and knocked them out. So now they're trying to build themselves back up again, and this is it. This is, their title fight. They got to come out swinging.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm really pumped for this. I don't know. I'm also getting the same vibe that I got from the original series, the original three,
exactly.
Man.
Well, you got the original characters coming back. I mean, you have Han and Leia and allegedly Luke, which there's that whole rumor. Oh my God. Okay, just quickly about that. There's that whole Kylo Ren is Luke going around. It's a stupid rumor. I don't know who the hell started it. A friend of mine asked me about it. I'm like, dude, let's go this way, okay? On IMDb, Adam Driver, the actor, is listed as Kylo Ren. In the Vanity Fair Star Wars issue that came out many months ago, the first page is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, dressed as Kylo Ren without his helmet on, and the caption says, Adam Driver is Kylo Ren. In the latest trailer, we see Kylo Ren and the character Finn, played by John Boyega, about to throw down with some lightsaber battle. Kylo Ren doesn't have his helmet on. The back of his head is clearly an Adam Driver, hair. So I'm like, where are these Luke Skywalker's Kylo Ren? First off, there's no way Lucasfilm and Disney would take the character, the hero of their billion-dollar franchise and turn him into the villain. That's just silly. So I don't know how it got started, but I think it is ridiculous. Anyway, go.
You do have Harrison Ford there. There's a little clip from Harrison Ford saying it's all true. It's all true. What is he talking about
and
there?
He's talking about the fact that, okay, I don't think in the old expanded universe, Luke built back up the Jedi Order to where the Jedi became a presence once again in the universe. However, it doesn't seem the case in this. I think what happened after Jedi is Luke might have started training a few people, but then something went south, or he trained a few people and then left. Like, I think Luke's in hiding, and the main mission of this story, both for the good guys and the bad guys, is to find him. But when Han Solo is talking to the kids about, the dark side, the Jedi, it's all real, it has to do with the fact that really the universe hasn't seen a Jedi since the Clone Wars. Because during the original trilogy, we had Yoda and Ben were in hiding. The only known Force user that the galaxy knew about was Darth Vader, because the Emperor hid the fact that he was a Sith. And then Luke, who wasn't a fully trained Jedi, and like I said, he might have split after the end of Return of the Jedi. Yeah. So the whole mythology of the Jedi has not been seen for 30, 50, 60 years almost. So that's why, but Han, being a guy who saw Darth Vader, who's seen Luke, what he can do, seen Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's like, hey, I was a doubter, but now I know it's all true. All these legends that you've heard, they're all real,
Yeah. Well, going back to Luke, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this thing.
Okay, so get into the story. The actual story of this is at the GLSEN Respect Awards, Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams offered an update on the film's progress and teased an answer to the question many fans have been wondering, where is Luke Skywalker? These are good questions you've been asking, Abrams said when he was asked why Skywalker hadn't appeared in any of the Star Wars trailers. I can't wait for you to find out the answer. It's not an accident. As to where the film currently stands, he revealed the visual effects process goes on for the next few weeks. Even though a cut of the film will be done before then, we still have another scoring session with John Williams, who is a god when it comes to music. Word. Star Wars Force Awakens, of course, will be released actually December 18th in North America, but it's going to be released December 16th in France and December 17th in Britain.
What?
I know, right? People are like mad. Like for 2 days, people are saying they have to, cut off social media. But I'm like, I don't know anybody in France or Britain, I guess. So I think I'm cool, even though I think I have to worry about more staying off my my news sites more than anything, because someone will go over there, report it, and then put it on a website that I usually go to, so I can stay off that. But yeah,
it's gonna be chaos.
Exactly, man. I'm so hyped for this, man. It's gonna be awesome. And not just for the movie, but the Star Wars franchise is back. I was talking to our coworker Gary about it the other day, and he's yesterday, and I showed him the trailer, and he's like, "Oh, so they're do this trilogy and then go away for a little bit and come back." And I'm like, "No, man, no. Lucasfilm is owned by Disney now. They have a Star Wars movie coming out every year from here till the end of time right now. They have it all planned out. You got all the TV shows, you got all the spin-offs, you got the books, you got comics, you got the video games. I mean, it's a turning wheel now, man. It's not one of those days where growing up, we didn't know. We thought, after Jedi we were never going to get any more Star Wars, and then we got the prequels. And then after the prequels, we're like, we're not going to get more Star Wars. And oh wait, we're getting more Star Wars. It's for a guy who grew up loving Star Wars and not, thinking he was ever going to see any more Star Wars, several times. It's like, this is a dream come true.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. It's a culture that's back now, man.
Exactly, and pre-sale tickets show that. Okay, the pre-sale I'm going to say this right. Pre-sale tickets outsold the previous pre-sale ticket record by 8 times.
Nice.
Okay, it made what $6+ million, which means if you took last week's box office, it came in like 4th or 5th at the box office.
It hadn't even been
tickets.
released
It hasn't
yet.
even been released yet. It's a phenomenon unto itself, and there are a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, it's not going to break box office records. It's coming out in December. That's a lot of places are cold and snowy, and there's Christmas." And I'm like, no. When I was a kid, what we did, our tradition was December 23rd. We all went and saw a movie together, and I know several people that are like that. They like to go to the holidays. They go see movies. I think it's only going to help that, hey, let's go see a movie. What should we see? Star Wars. Me, I know I'm going to see it at least twice that weekend. Okay, you haven't even bought your tickets yet.
I haven't bought my tickets yet, sadly.
See, I'm going to see it probably at least twice before you see it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm holding out, man. I'm supposed to do the whole family thing, and
dude,
we're
you
gonna
go with the family. Go with it, because I plan on seeing it. Of course, I'll go see it opening night. I'll go see it once that weekend. Probably me and Lisa will go again. I'm probably going to take my mother-in-law to go see it because she's like, oh, I want to see it, but I don't know if I'll get to go. No, anyone who wants to go see this movie, I'm going to make sure they go. I want to make sure everyone sees this movie.
Sean's gonna be the Star Wars hero.
I am carrying the baton. March forward to victory. Hopefully, or death. One of the two.
Oh man, don't even worry, dude. It's gonna be epic, man. I have no doubts about this film. You do have your naysayers, though.
Of course, you do have your naysayers. Last thing, though, I told you to watch the Star Wars Battlefront trailers. What do you think of those?
I bought a PS4 solely just to get this game.
You did not.
I did. Got mine on a great deal, by the way.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is I'm going to camp out at your place for a while.
You're more than welcome to come over.
Yeah.
I have 4 controllers. It's going to be... There's definitely going to be some Battlefront battles going on.
I'm not big on those kind of games, though. But the fact that in the trailers you could... my favorite...
fly a TIE fighter,
One
man.
of my favorite Star Wars games... the two favorite was the X-Wing Squadron for Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Force Unleashed because I can walk around as a badass Jedi and just kill people. Yeah. So if I can play as a Jedi and I can fly an X-Wing, that's awesome. But it looks like you also get to fly the Millennium Falcon, which that gave me a chubby right there.
Yeah, man, you got your heroes in the game. They're
you can play as villains too. It's gonna be awesome, I think.
I wonder if it's gonna have any of the new universe in there though.
Yeah,
I've seen only the original trilogy storylines in there. I've yet to see anything.
I'll go with this too. There's something I forgot to mention off the new trailer was everyone everything that comes out in Star Wars now is connected. The books, the comic books, the movies, they're all part of canon. They're all part of the timeline now, and they're saying even the video games are now part of Star Wars lore. Now the video games are kind of taking a few liberties where it's not hardcore canon. But in the new trailer, there was one thing where they were on a Tatooine. Boba Fett was flying around, and he flies where he almost gets in the Sarlacc pit, and then he pops back out, and he's like, not ever again.
Oh.
I'm like, whoa! So that kind of confirms that Boba Fett makes his way out of the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi. So we will see that character again, it appears. So that'd be cool.
Didn't catch that.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for us today. We're going to move on with our day since somebody decided to show up 45 minutes late. And
Barry Allen, man, what do you want me to say?
Exactly, except you don't have super speed to make up for it. So either show up on time or get super speed. One of the
drive
two.
really fast.
I'll give you a nice big metal pole. You can sit out there in the storm, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm down.
Right.
If I get super speed.
All right, guys. So if you have any questions or anything you want to mention to us, hit us up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Slim, SLYM, Dayspring12. Josh, where can people find you?
You can always find me on Instagram. My tag name is going to be I am Batman 24/7.
Okay, dude, next time if you show up late, I'm seriously going to punish you in some way. So, all right, guys, that's it for us. Catch you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.